What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Browns Film Room. I'm your host, Jacob at Birchism13 on Twitter. If you want to hit me up over there, if you want to hit the show up, you can email me at brownsmailbag@gmail.com. If you got ideas and other videos you would like to see, tell me on Twitter, tell me via that email, or even in the comments down below. I'm happy to go over the film of any player that you guys want. And honest to God, that is the purpose of this show. I really love making this, but I want to be able to give you guys what you want to see, even more so than not. So today we're going to go over one more of the UDFAs. As soon as we hear from our sponsors, we're brought to you as always by our friends over at Homage Apparel. I got the classic Cleveland Browns Brownie the Elf shirt, most soft, comfortable shirts on the market. Go in the link down below and you will be able to follow to their Browns collection and check all that great stuff out. I did want to hit on one new thing. We do have our new Discord out. You can subscribe to the Discord. There's a link in the description down below if you want to get exclusive access to some of our rumor pages as well as our sports bets that we are posting each day, making everybody money. Those are $10 a month for the subscription. It is $100 for a year. You can get 2 months off, or you can join the free portion of the Discord as well and just chat. But if you want exclusive access to some of that stuff and make all of your money back, you subscribe to our Discord for $10 a month. All right, so I asked everybody after we got done with the Browns picks, were there any UDFAs you guys wanted to see? And you said you wanted to hear about Lonnie Phelps. We did Lonnie Phelps last week. And then we have this one this week is the last one. You only asked for two, and these are the two. So Lonnie Phelps, the Kansas Jayhawk pass rusher, and you also wanted to go with the linebacker out of Utah, and his name's pronounced. Here we go. We're going to do this. You ready? Mohamoud Diabate. So Mohamoud Diabate, the linebacker from Utah, started out over at Florida before going to Utah. So you're going to see some snaps today of him with Florida, and then him against Florida with Utah for the things we got all set up for there. All right, so let me bring up my notes and we'll talk about the linebacker. Okay, Diabate. All right, he's a little bit undersized to play middle linebacker. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, right around there. He was a little bit bigger than that. He was 225 pounds is what he came in, at the combine. But that's also what they listed him at, was 222 is what they listed him this year at Utah. He's smaller. He plays Mike backer a lot, but he also plays kind of outside linebacker in coverage, and he can move down and play as a pass rusher. We've seen some of that as well. So I think he's a little undersized to play Mike. That comes up in the run game. I would like to see him add some size and some strength in the run game. That's the biggest issues and concerns I had watching his film, and that's probably a lot of why he went out to be an undrafted free agent out of Utah. So I would like to see some of that. I think he can get really instinctual in coverage. I really like him in coverage. PFF gave him like a 43 coverage grade last year at Utah, but I thought he was pretty good as far as linebackers go, covering tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. If he is covering a wide receiver, a slot wide receiver, something like that, or a more athletic tight end, sometimes he can be a little outmatched. But he does such a great job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback during those situations, watching the quarterback, where he's going, following his man, but also watching the quarterback when it's a mobile quarterback. And you're going to see some clips of him against Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson. And I think that's really important, especially in the AFC North and the AFC in general right now, to make sure that you're able to cover, but also keep an eye on the quarterback so he doesn't bust a massive run on you. So I like him in coverage. He just keeps his eyes on the quarterback. Like I said, it's really important, some of the matchups that he's had. So I enjoy some of that stuff. I think he's got a really high motor. Because of his high motor and his athleticism and his skill set, he gets a 9.11 relative athletic score, and he's 6'3", 6'4", 225 pounds, ran a 4.5 240. So he's got athleticism and speed. I think his skill set would make him a special teams ace down the road. I think he could contribute automatically. I think it's really interesting to watch him if he could make this roster. Like, where's the path to the 53, not just the practice squad? It's going to be on special teams, and Diabate has that skill set to develop into a really nice special teams player. And you got a really good coordinator in Bubba Ventrone that really can develop him. And I'll show you some of that as we turn the film on here in just a couple of minutes. I think he's got a really good feel for the game in the pass game. Like, I think in zone coverage, he can get lost at times, passing people off or realizing when someone's passed off to him. But I think he has a pretty good feel of where the quarterback's going to go. I think he really watches the quarterback and kind of can feel things out as what the way they were going. But this year at Utah, they played him a lot more as a pass rusher too, not just blitzing situations, but as a stand-up wide nine style outside linebacker, kind of like you watch Nick Herbig, the Wisconsin rusher that went to the Steelers. We talked a ton about him here on this show, on this channel, and leading up to the draft. And I think that is something that with Herbig, all those things we said could kind of be applied to Diabate this year. He played 103 pass rush snaps in 2022, got an 83.9 pass rush grade from PFF, had 5 sacks. I think it's really important to see him like that. I don't have a ton of tape of that, just solely based on the fact that I couldn't get a ton of the tape that I wanted to with the all 22 in some areas. But there are some highlights if you want to check that out. I think he could be a situational pass rusher and a special teams ace, and that could be how he could stick around in the NFL for a while. All right, guys, let's get into the film. Let's get it up here on the screen here. My favorite part of these episodes. So we're going to start here. You're going to see him here in the middle. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of different styles, but I think I like him mostly in the pass game. But he does come crashing downhill, especially when he reads and reacts to a running play. But what I really like about it is you can see him trying to stay disciplined in a lot of these runs where like those speed options, those quarterback options and stuff like that, or zone read situations. He really tries to stick to his assignment so that there's not a massive like cutback lane, something like that. So you're going to see him go out into coverage here. I really like just keeping up. And he's a little bit behind on the trail technique there, but just a thing that I think he can really, you see him keep his eyes on the quarterback there, but I just think he's in a position where he sees his man come out of the backfield, not the backfield, a little bit wide. He goes over to meet him and then trails back, but he does keep his eyes. You can see him looking at the quarterback, and it does cause him some issues right there because that's probably too much cushion, but I do like the way he reads and reacts. You'll see him here. He's actually number 11 in this situation. So the clips, he's number 3 when he plays for Utah, number 11 when he played for the Gators. You'll see him right here, circling around here. What I like about this play is he gets met here by the lineman. I have some issues with his size and strength because I think he can be controlled and pushed out of the way, especially in the run game. And that's why I'm a little bit afraid of putting him at Mike backer at the next level. I think he's more of a situational pass rusher and special teamer that can give you some snaps at Mike because he has the experience there. But here's a good play. He's going to fight through this. And this running back, and there's a lot of really good plays up here going on, but this running back's going to try to bounce it out. And he just uses his athleticism and his motor, and he just keeps working through it. See, it gets around it. Now he's got the running back here. Running back might go out here. They might cut back in. And you're just going to see him square up, keep his base, and bring him down. Don't allow him to make a move on you, do anything like that. Square up, break down, be ready to make a form tackle. There's some tackling issues at times. That's another knock against him. But there's plenty of plays like this where you can just see him really understand his assignment. He's going to come over here. I believe this is one of the pass rushing snaps that I really like. One of the things with him as a pass rusher is his first step off the line. I think he's got a really nice first step. And I told you about the 9.11 relative athletic score. So he has that athleticism, a little bit of bend. So I like him as he bursts off. They get a hand on him, but it's just one of those things where he got off the line. The lineman was a little bit slow to react to him. And, he gets in there. Obviously, the ball gets thrown and he gets kind of pushed past, but it's just you can see in those snaps like that the traits, the things that you could develop into a good player. And we'll see it from another view. He's going to be right here. And he's going to move over. You can just see him. As soon as the ball gets snapped, he's gone. He's past it. He does get kind of driven back, but he puts a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. He's going to be over here in the slot. and then he kind of peels back, and he's there to make sure that clean it up if he needs to. So that's a situation, as you see him here, which I really like with the eyes in the backfield, especially in situations where it ends up being a dump off or a quarterback run or things like that. So he follows his guy out until he sees it clearly. His guy's not going to be getting the play, getting the ball, and he works his way back in there. It's another really nice instinctual play to kind of watch it play out in front of him. I'm sorry. He's right here in the very, very middle at a true Mike backer position. But you can see him. He's waiting, sitting here trying to see the play, sees the running back slipping out for a screen pass, reacts, works his way back in there, and he's there to make the hit. You'll see it here. He's on the left there, watching it play out. Watch it play out. Slip in between, fight back, get in there, make the play. See him here again, coverage, trailing, covering from here, get in the way. I just think he's a really good trail technique player. This is a really fun play. So he's sitting right here. You're going to see him fake a blitz, but he's still going to get out there to cover his man in coverage, the tight end up the top here. So he's going to hop back, get out in there. Now he's in coverage, not the best coverage in the world, but he's right there after going from a totally different style play. You see him, he's right there. What I like here, man comes out, covers him, but you can see he's got his eyes in the backfield the whole time, trails after his wide receiver, ends up coming in there, and the guy slides, but he's there to make sure that Richardson doesn't. Oh, crap. So sorry about that. To make sure that Richardson doesn't continue on the play. Another look at it since I clicked too many buttons on you guys. Follows him, follows him, follows him. Richardson eventually works his way up. You see him come crashing down in there. He slides down. Another view of that play. Number 3 there on the left side of your screen. There's this guy. He's going to trail him, but you can see his eyes in the backfield. Keeping an eye on Richardson. Watch this mobile quarterback. He eventually does break out. He's going to go over there. You're going to see him slide down. Again, sees this guy crossing, comes down, good coverage. He's in the middle here. And sometimes he sticks his nose in here like this. You're going to see him just come crashing downhill. He's not afraid to stick his nose into contact. He just has the trouble at times fighting through it. Again, sticks his nose in there. And you really see in this play is a good example, as he's right here, of him, again, when he breaks himself down and has good technique and fundamentals as a tackler, he makes the play. He does this again, trying to prevent any kind of cutbacks or moves here. He's just standing and he just peels off and goes in and makes the play. There he is. He's going to be a down rusher here. Off the line, fights through contact, gets up in his face, keeps going, keeps working. Eventually, it's picked off. Put a ton of pressure on the quarterback, fight through those chip blocks from the running back, put pressure on him. It's just a high motor. He just doesn't quit, and that's why he would be great at special teams. He's going to fight, get in there. See, he will. He'll get down there in the run game and make some plays. It's just very inconsistent. Run defense. He's right here. Works his way back to the ball. And that is it for your film room on Mohamoud Diabate, the linebacker from Utah. I really enjoyed his film. Undrafted free agents, they just don't make the roster a ton, but he could find himself, especially on the practice squad. Just a lot of that has to do with, I think he has a really good motor and a good skill set to be a great special teamer. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, give us a thumbs up. Consider joining us over on the craziness that is the Network 216 Discord. I'm going to take the next couple of weeks off from the film room as we are in the dead period, so not a ton going on. take a few weeks off, and we're going to come back and we're going to watch some film as we go into training camp, and we'll be watching film together on the preseason and leading us up to the season. Only 71 days. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is Jake for Network 216. Go Browns.